Hello, this is Bob and Catch here. I'm, well, what's that your name?
Dan.
Dan, I thought so.
Everyone just calls me Catch.
Catch, yeah. In-game name is Catch. I'm the old man Bob in-game.
Just for a problem.
What?
This is going to be picking up that. Yeah.
There's no harm.
No, not really.
If
except
not, turn
if
it
you
down.
mute it. That won't pick it up. Ah, shit.
Turn it down. We'll talk over it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we can't tell. We've got all, whenever, how long it takes, you know.
It's just there's going to be, I think, an echo because it will pick up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so we're looking at a game here between, obviously, the Red and Blues. Not any particular two ranked teams. It's just a similar sort of game. And something that I've actually kind of missed while shoutcasting on my channel quite a bit is Juggernauts. Looking at this top lane, we've got Garen and Darius, the two most unpleasant people to be playing against, I'd say, at the moment.
And I think this is a ranked game, so someone did not ban properly, because two Juggernauts getting through is very, very rare nowadays.
It really is, and we've actually seen quite a lack of, just looking at this team, lack of people who come against Juggernauts. However, Fizz is one character who can bring them down with the passive on his W. He does percentage damage with his AP.
And if he goes tanky Fizz, it's essentially like an old school Juggernaut. As we see Brand picking up a solo kill onto
That
Zed in
was
the mid.
so slow and you could see it coming. That was painful to watch. However, a re-engage coming in on the bot lane, and the Lee Sin does go, Morgana even goes down to the Jinx, however. And the Fizz engaging onto the top lane again. Darius going down to the Justice, the Massian style Justice from the Garen.
Yeah, action all over the map there, mid, bot, then top, immediately. And Callista might get dived here if she sticks around,
They're
so
looking
that's
to
not
guide.
so smart.
The exhaust does come out from Brom, and Lee Sin jumping onto the Brom. However, the minion block is getting in the way. But a nice pick up from the Lee Sin's Q there.
Yeah, Lee Sin ult, meaning Callista can't get away, can't run, can't hide, just dead. And Jinx should be able to get this tower down when the next minion wave comes, because she is still Jinx. One
thing I have actually just noticed is, while we've got a quiet moment here, is that the Fizz, in fact, is a Fizz jungle. Something I haven't seen in quite a while. And he knows he's in a Juggernaut meta, knows he's in a tank meta. And so he's going into this Devourer, which the W is there to, you know, really take down tanks, because it does percentage health damage. And so he's going to be building full attack speed. I wouldn't be surprised to see him build a Satyr Devourer into a Bladed Ruin King.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen another engage here, and Brand has gone getting all the damage. Oh, so bad at that.
It's alright, the Brand does take down a kill, but at the same time the Zed went in on the Lee Sin, who took too much damage and goes down to the ultimate from the Zed at the end there, who's actually working towards a Ymu's Ghost Blade and a Blade the Ruin King by the looks of things. Trying to get some early power spikes come out.
Yeah, so overall a 1-for-1 trade there in the bot lane, and Brand's going in for another one, but Morgana is such a hard person to get onto with Callista backing her up. That lane is just so unkillable.
It's going to be really nasty, and it is in fact a really nice little comp to go between the two. As we see a little bit of a engage going on the top lane, not a whole lot's going to come of that. But what the Morgana has is a beautiful, massive AoE ultimate. And that comboed with the Callista as she ults you into the centre of a team fight, that can get really nasty, really fast.
Yeah, it's like a two-man wombo combo comp. I love Callista for this reason. And
I love Morgana for that reason.
And Braum is just not a strong enough defense. Like, he stops skill shots, but none of what that combo is skill shots, so he definitely is not the right champion to stop that.
Bit of a taunt and BM coming out from the Garen on the top lane. Just going to clear some wards out from the Lee Sin. And looking at the wards, which I always put a lot of focus on when looking at the games, we see that if we just, if I mind me taking the mouse over a little bit, we'll put the directed camera on as an engage goes down into the bot lane. The Braum getting stunned up by the Morgana. The Jinx is free shooting, but the Braum has got so many stacks of Rend, and the ult comes out from the Callista going in. The Rends could take place any second now. They do go down, not quite enough damage. And then Morgana does pick up the kill with her Dark Binding, maybe trying to secure it for the Callista, but just takes it in the end.
And there's that combo we were talking about. They didn't use the Morgana ult, I think.
They did use
the
Callista,
they did at the start, but
they
yes.
used the Callista ult.
And that's such a nasty combo because you can't CC them down and they'll just CC you back.
Exactly, and it's looking just at the Lee Sin here. He's now trying to cover this bot lane, but the Fizz is just roaming around, and he does land the Chum the Waters, and he goes in. Lee Sin has to ult defensively, but playful Trickster coming up from the Fizz to try and catch up, but the Brom's there to cover him. However, the Dark Binding does land, and we may see a re-engage, but they're not going to tower dive. They're not that brave just yet.
Yeah, Lee Sin running into a 1v3, but getting away due to Lee Sin.
Mind just pressing F1, F2, F3, just to have a look at the wards here. So at the moment we're looking at the red team wards, and they have been quite pressured for the most part of this game so far. Morgana's been quite present in lane as we see an engage coming in.
Yeah, Brand's get the damage to pull this off. The passive should get it up. Yep.
So they haven't been able to go out and ward, so they haven't really got a whole lot of vision, and that's why the Brand was able just to swan over to bot lane and pick up a kill there. Whereas if we look at the blue team's wards, they've managed to get some real nice coverage on this mid lane, and they don't need to worry about this bot lane.
Overall, I like to see both teams warding more, though. Neither has really picked an area and completely swallowed it in wards.
This is true. They're also not warding objectively. They're both sort of guessing where their opponent's going to be and what they're both after. I like to see a lot of wards around Drake, around buffs, around Baron, determining what they're going after next and securing them. However, we do see an engage from the Zed as he ults in onto the Brand. The Brand, however, is stunning him up and a lot of damage comes out.
Zed shuriken backwards, meaning he didn't get the damage from his ult, and then Brand survives.
Doesn't quite finish him off. A nice burst damage coming out from the Brand. Looking into the build here, I'm seeing something that you don't usually see on a Brand as we see the engage going in. The Brand is in fact straight up building a Luden's Echo, which while strong on Brand, isn't usually what you want to go for.
It's sacrificing the late game 3-item build for one item power spike, and it's worked out for him, to be fair. He's 5-0. As we see an engage in bot, we've got the combo between Kalista and Morgana, and it's paid off again.
Very nicely done, however, the Lee Sin is here to back them up, and they managed to stun the Kalista using Brom's concussive blows, which was very nicely played. However, it looks like they might be re-engaging down here, as Fizz misses Chum the Waters, but he does go in anyway. The Dark Binding lands from the Morgana, but they're going to have to play it safe and try and pull back. However, the Zed is there. He doesn't have his ult just yet. He'll be going in soon, however.
And Brom's out of mana, so he can't help. So Zed should be able to chase this down. Except Brand shows up.
Brand and the stun comes in, and that is a nasty wombo combo right there. He stuns him, locks him down enough for the execute of Lee Sin.
Absolutely. Brand, the OG combo champion. He was designed as the first combo champion, and there's been many since, but hitting that combo... Talking of which, bye-bye Morgana, your shield is not going to save you now.
Only blocked magic damage, and he did finish her off with an auto there, and this Brand is slowly taking it away. Playful Trickster comes out from the... Playful Trickster does come out from the Fizz, but he uses it too early, and the Brand zones him very nicely there with his W, forcing him to go left, forces him into the Q.
And this 7-0 Brand really needs to be respected more. The Garen has him as the villain, and probably will do for the rest of the game, but he needs to find that Brand, he needs to shut him down with true damage, because that team is not respecting this Brand enough.
And what we've seen in the last couple of minutes is just a huge change in how the game's played out. They were very equal when we started, and now they're a good double the red team's kills, just purely thanks to this Brand. But we see another engage
Darius
on the top
being
lane.
Darius! Dunks!
The Dunk Master dunks once again, but the ult comes out from Kalista, and the Morgana hasn't ulted yet, but the Brand is doing so much damage, they just can't face him. The Jinx is on the backline with her rockets coming in, and she is going to pick up this kill thanks to a nice ward which had already been placed there by the Brom, so they didn't lose vision of the Kalista. The Fizz, however, trying to get something back out of it, he just queues onto the Brom, but isn't able to pick anything else up for it. So overall, a trade definitely in favour of the blue team there.
Yeah, Fizz is really far off getting his Devourer stacked. He's got 10 stacks so far, needs 30, and until he does, he cannot go toe-to-toe with this Brand, which is what he needs to do as an assassin.
And here we're seeing perhaps one of our first objectives of the game. In fact, it's the second objective of the game when it comes to Drakes. This is the second Drake going easily over to the blue team. And while that won't do much for them now, because it is just a bonus movement speed, I believe, it will benefit them massively later in the game. It will be huge for them if they get to that 5 Drakes.
And this is going to force a contest over the third one, because the third Drake is really big, and the first Drake for red team is also really big. So it allows blue team to set up the wards, set up the team fight, and they have a Brand who's fed as hell, so it's going to go in their way.
And this is something that we've already seen them predicting. If you look at the map here on the bottom right, we're seeing a lot of ward coverage. They've managed to really clear it up. We can see the focus is on this bot lane. They know they need to shut the Kalista Morgana down, and they do so with relative ease. Quickly looking onto this bot lane, the Jinx is actually getting quite aggravated onto this bot lane combo, and the Brand looks like he's roaming up top. Something's going on up there. As the Brand roams up, we see the Garen is getting double teamed, but so is the Fizz. He uses Chums the Water onto the Lee Sin, and Playful Trickster's onto the Lee Sin, but he's not able to pick up the kill, and in fact a double kill comes in for the Darius, and that is almost as nasty as having a Brand fed.
And there we see the Fizz not having Devourer stack, not doing enough damage.
However, a nice concussive blows coming out from the Brom. However, a nice spell shield from the Morgana did save her, but the Kalista does eventually die, but it only goes over to the Brom. Not really worth it, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, and to be honest, all of the power on blue team right now is on Brand. So while they did just win that trade, it really didn't look convincing.
And if we're looking at, I'll let you do the main commentaries. I'm just going to quickly have a little look at the item disparity.
Oh, and Zed's going in on Jinx, and he gets the death mark off. Is it going to be enough? We'll see. He has the shadow. As the death mark procs, it's not enough. So Zed going too deep there. Brand showing up. Brom being enough defense.
What we saw though was a real nice little play by the Brom. He saw the death mark going onto the Jinx and W'd straight onto her. This gives her the extra armor and magic just to survive it. But the Brand does use his ult, almost recklessly, but the stun comes in. Max range Q from the Brand, very nicely done.
Yeah, the ult proccing the passive, allowing his Q to stun. So it's okay to use in a single target situation, but ideally you want to be saving
want
it
those
to
5 bounces.
Absolutely, especially if you're 8 kills, 8 assists.
It's why you never pick Annie into a Brand. Oh, you ult. Now you've just got 2 targets, Annie and Tibbers, to bounce the ult between.
Or Shaco.
Or Shaco,
or LeBlanc.
Yeah. Very, very bad picks. But they haven't picked the Annie into the Brand. They did, in fact,
Kalista doing her best to kite the Lee Sin here.
She may be able to do it if she
keeps jumping away.
Oh, the ult comes in from Lee Sin, though, and that is a lot of
Brand
damage.
should be in range for a Q here.
Oh,
gets
she
the
walks
W.
into the W. She thought he was going to go right and goes the wrong way. However, now the Zed is looking to get a bit, but there's nice warding from the blue team, and they know every movement the red team are making.
Zed here just used his flash, which means Darius E should get him.
Oh!
And Darius E into the Brand damage is huge.
And yeah, we're going to be going onto the bot lane because Fizz is engaging onto the thing. Chum the Waters comes in onto the Jinx, but she's getting locked down, and something's happening. What the hell?
Surrender vote.
Oh, red team.
Comes out.
They give up at the end. And honestly, I can't blame them.
No, the Darius, the Jinx, the Lee Sin, the Brand were all problems at that point. And how do you deal with that?
They couldn't get ahead. They needed the Zed and the Fizz to really be able to become powerhouses in this game. The Fizz sadly just didn't get ahead. By the look of his build, he wasn't able to
He never even finished Devourer, yep.
And he was either building into a Static Shiv or maybe a Trinity Force, actually, looking at that Zeal. When you really want to be rushing that Blade the Ruin King. And that is a mistake on the Fizz's part, not to put the entire blame onto him. And the only person there who I'd say really managed to get slightly ahead is the Morgana and the Kalista, that little combo on bot lane. But even that got shut down by the 9-0-10 Brand.
Every time Brand showed up, it was a massacre.
It was a death